Every single one of you in this room is the same. It's just a question of whether you remember it or not. The reason we go into Samadhi and silence the mind completely in total stillness is so we can remember. This is who I am. I am the source. I have done all these things. So I'm not sitting up here telling you that I'm some special guy and you should listen to me. In fact, I will tell you over and over again, never listen to me. Listen to yourself. Because everything that's happening here abides within you. Everything in this room abides within you. Everything in this universe, all knowledge, all experience, every person, every animal, everything, you are the source. Everything abides within you. That's the first of the Mystic Seven, by the way. You are the source. There is a source, and you are that source. I'm going to cut my definition of Samadhi down today. I usually have this beautiful thing that I spent 18 years writing because Samadhi is the most important thing. Forget I said that. It's a very beautiful thing. And so I wanted to be able to express it in the most eloquent, poetic way possible. And so I wrote a definition, and I've been refining it every day for the last 18 years. And it probably will not be perfect ever. So go onto the website and read it. Okay? Basically, all you need to know today about Samadhi is it is the pure and absolute silence of the mind. There is no thought. There is no perceiver. There is nothing being perceived. There is nothing except the source abiding within itself. This is where we're going today. Samadhi. We will be starting a Mystic Seven group here in Dallas. We already have. It began today. And for the purposes of those who are going to come back and attend that group, or even just your own experience, there are a lot of different types of Samadhi. I have found, I think the most I've been able to find is around 21 different types. You only need to know about 3. And the reason it's important is because as you go through your awakening process, whether it's today, tomorrow, last week, last year, the last year and a half, you're going to be going into these Samadhi experiences. And if you don't know what to look for, then it's going to take you 17 years, like it took me. I'd rather it only take you a week and be done. Finished. I'm enlightened. No more suffering, just bliss. That sounds like a better plan. Not that there is a better plan. So if you know what to look for, you'll go, wow, look, I've been dropping into Samadhi and didn't even know it since I was a child. So there's 3 states we're going to talk about. One is Asamprajnata Samadhi. And you don't need to write all this down. Just to let you know, I am going to give a handout at the end of this that has everything we're talking about. Especially you that's writing. And the reason is because I've been watching everybody in this room. And you are seeing something here. And if you're writing, then you get away from that. Because now you've gone to the pen and you're in the mind thinking. And so now I'm going to write all this stuff down. So just be here. Just be here and let whatever happen, happen. Asam Prajnata Samadhi is the samadhi where there is absolutely, it was the state I was in for 6 hours every day. There's no sight, there's no sounds, there's no visions, there's no smells, there's no taste. You could be literally cooking bacon in front of you and you would not be able to smell it. There's nothing there. There's no perceiver, there's no source, there's no manifestations, nothing. It's black. But in that nothingness abides the everythingness. We can't get into that today because it's very, very complex. But it's not nothing. It's not nihilistic. It's not that you're sitting there and there's nothing. No, there's just nothingness. No sounds, no sights, no thoughts, no nothing. But in that place is the everythingness. Every experience, every smell, every flower, every sunset, every rose, every lover, every kiss, everything, every thought, all science, all universes is in there. You just don't perceive it. But it's there and you are it. And that's why when you come out sometimes, you go, I'm eternal. Because you've been there where you as the source are eternal. And when you come out, you go, hey, look, there was something in there, but I didn't recognize it when I was in there. The reason Asam Prajnata is important to recognize is because unless you recognize it the second you come out, you'll never know you were there. You'll never, ever know it. Unless you have a very strong experience following it, an eternity experience, or a unity experience, or an infinity experience. Then you'll go, whoa, something was there, something happened. But unless that happens, I guarantee you're dropping into Asam Prajnata Samadhi several times a day, and you don't even know it. Because you don't know to look for it. You don't know to recognize it when you come out. Because you can't recognize it when you're in there. There's nothing there. But the second you come out, you can go, I was somewhere. Now I hear the clock ticking. I didn't hear it ticking a second ago. How come I hear it ticking now? Because you were in Asam Prajnata Samadhi. There was no sound there. Now you're out of Asam Prajnata Samadhi. You can't go, hey, look, I just came out. You can go, now I heard the clock. How come I heard the clock and I did a minute ago? Now you can recognize that you had been there. Okay? So this is Asam Prajnata Samadhi. The moment you recognize that you are back, you're out of it. Okay? There's no going back. You can't go, okay, I'm going back in. Well, yeah, you can if you do it for a long time. But at first you can't go, oh, I'm out, going back in. No, the mind's already engaged and taking you off into its never, never land of ego craziness. So that's Asam Prajnata Samadhi. The next one is Samprajnata Samadhi. And that is Samadhi when you actually have your eyes open. Or you're listening to a song. Or you smell the bacon. Or let's use a chocolate chip cookie. That's a lot nicer. The chocolate chip cookie. My favorite example is a sunrise. Although chocolate chip cookie would work. My favorite example is a sunrise. There are times in everyone's life when they see a sunrise or a flower or smell the chocolate chip. I can't leave it alone. The chocolate chip cookie. And in that fraction of a second, they are not a human being smelling a cookie. There's just the smell of chocolate chip cookies. There isn't a cookie. There's not someone smelling the cookie. There's just the smelling of the cookie. And then all of a sudden it's, oh, that smells good. The moment you say that smells good, now you've made an objective world, an objective reality. There's something outside of yourself that smells good, and you are smelling it. You are no longer in Samprajnata Samadhi, because now you've created separation. Unity. You as the source are not separate. I'm going to throw in the Mystic Seven as we go along. That way I don't have to do them all in a row. So, the moment you come out of Samprajnata Samadhi is when you recognize the sunset and you go, and you're the sunset. That's all that exists. But then you go, that's so beautiful. That is out there. I am witnessing it here. You have separated, or believe that you've separated. You haven't, because it's impossible. But you've created this idea of separation, an objective and subjective reality. In that moment, you are out of Samprajñāta Samadhi. So you need to recognize these moments. And I hear people all the time. I was driving down the street, all of a sudden, I look down and I'm doing the speed limit and I'm in my lane, and where was I? The last one is, I had to make this word up, and I've been using it for years, and then Dawn found it in a book the other day. It's Samprajñāta Ananda Samadhi. Samprajñāta Ananda Samadhi is when you're in Samprajñāta Samadhi, smelling, tasting, hearing something, and there's this overwhelming feeling of bliss. People start crying. Kundalini is just shooting out of your body so hard you can't even stand it. You think you're going to literally explode. This bliss, this overwhelming just joy inside of you is being experienced while you're in Samprajñāta Samadhi. But it's not you experiencing it. There's nothing there to be experienced. But there is this thing that's there. So those are the three types of samadhi. And I would imagine I'm not exaggerating when I say that we've been doing this for a year in Tyler, and our group in Tyler, every single person in that group experiences this on a weekly basis. Maybe not everybody at the group all the time, but at least one or two or three people are dropping into these states and having these experiences. You just have to start recognizing that you're doing it.